All right, man, it's your boy back with another one. Like, subscribe, comment, share the video, hit the notification bell if there is one or what have we. Brought Dale Sr. back with me. Last time when I made that Cletus McFarland video, I didn't say how Dale would be turning in his grave if he would have seen that nonsense. Nothing against dude personally. And this video was not about that. But when I made that video, I wasn't really thinking about, making a part two or a nothing and none of that. And then people started making comments about it, and certain comments, all right, that was just, giving me more proof. But the comments that cats was saying, kind of silly, as far as like, uh, Dale Sr. wouldn't have a beer with me because of how I look and how I dress. Um, I'm assuming that's because I'm black. But little do that person know, which actually gave me an idea that maybe y'all vibe with me on. So people in the comments think that I'm just another black person that probably got this and this. Like, nah, man. I was actually on the race team. I was actually on the pit crew. The shit in my bio, it's not cat. Like, I did a little something. Another commenter said I should stop bitching and do my part in changing the sport. I already did my part. If I didn't do my part, there would be less and less and less black pit crew members across the board. So just think about that. So I was thinking this morning as I'm getting ready for the race in Texas. Speaking of the race, shouts out to everybody that vibe with the kid out there on the track. Just online and stuff like that. I am the driver of the number 40 Valvoline Chevy Camaro Z01. Shouts out to everybody that be out there racing clean and shit. Uh, but it's like I'm not gonna toot my horn because it's a small horn. There's a lot of big horn motherfuckers out here, but I got a little horn. I got a, like I said last video, I got a little bit of mouth. But to make it into like a positive, and for the people that like watch my shit, if y'all want to hear some racing stories, just let me know. I could say some little racing stories like, like, all right, I'll just tell one, offer it. One of my favorites is when I met Ken Schrader. I'll give this one. Like dude used to say, I'll give this one for free, right? So, and then, maybe people start reconsidering uh, if they'll senior will have a beer with me. Because I had a beer with his son, Dad, Redneck Jesus. I didn't like sit at his crib and, you know, I did probably more than that. It's this little duck off. This is not about Ken Schrader, but I just started this since we talk about beer, and I'll tell you all the drivers that I quote unquote had a beer with one way or another. Look, Kurt Busch. Remember when was this 2006, something like that, when he had to deal when he signed with Roger Penske with Miller Lite. Kurt Busch himself walked in the bar of Charlotte, dang near by himself, and me and the people I was with was standing at the bar, and this is 2006. It may be a different setup now. Kurt Busch walked in there, mingled around, came up to us because he knew one of the homies, and shook all our hands, shook my hand personally. The homie said to Kurt Busch, he said, "Hey man, this dude's in NASCAR," because I was on the pit crew. I think I was in the truck series at the time. No, yeah, I don't fucking remember. If it was the end of 2005 when that happened, I was about to get in the truck series. If that was the end of 2006, then I was in the truck series going to the Xfinity or the Bush. Uh, yeah, or it just, yeah. So Kurt Busch bought us all around, and my friend says, "Hey, Kurt, he's in NASCAR," and now this is Kurt Busch. So Kurt Busch was lit. It was like, I don't know, like 10, 11:30. Kurt Busch already lit. He said, I'm Mr. NASCAR or some shit like that. And then Kurt Busch said some other shit that I'll probably say sometime later on. Just for, reasons you got to think about the time that Kurt was experiencing his personal life, right? So, you know, it's another duck off. I don't know the name of it, but it's off the lake. I just know you like drive down. and then it's a bar and everybody be there. Like I literally was sitting there with Reed Sorensen. Me and my homies I went to school with was with Reed Sorensen. And this is when Reed Sorensen was hot. Like let's say this is 2005-ish. Yeah, that Reed Sorensen, he wasn't drinking because he was young. I think he was like young. Yeah, yeah. Uh, David Starr was in that boy. Dale Jr. was in that boy. Actually, like had two or three occasions where I was in the same space. Dale Jr. was at Sam Goody, and my girl at the time worked at Sam Goody. I think it was Sam Goody at the time. That's right by the highway in Morrisville. Yep. And he had that big ass truck. Red truck was outside, and I walked in. He was standing at the corner, and I mean at the corner at the counter, and he had that scar right there. I don't know which side it's on, depending on which way. But yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know Dale Jr. was. I thought Dale Jr. was much taller, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah. And my girl don't know shit about racing, so it's Dale Jr. She's just ringing him out. Whatever CD he's buying, she just ringing him out like it ain't nothing. And it's freaking Dale Jr. I kid you not. So anyway, back to the Ken Schrader story. I wasted all my time. It's so when I met Ken Schrader, because it's one of my favorites. Ken Schrader is so cool. Uh, we was in Dover. I was on the 02 Capaxone Chevy Silverado pit crew. I was the jack man. I was the gas man and the jack man. I started out as the gas man, but I eventually turned to the jack man. Um, no, was I the jack man at the time? I don't remember. Damn it. But I might have been just the gas man at the time. But so we go to Dover, 2005. The races, the qualifying was rained out, I believe. Brendan Gaughan comes up to us, and all this shit happened in like 2 days, one day. Brendan Gaughan comes up to us, and he's like looking for, you know, he's trying to pretty much buy a spot. You know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't high enough in the points, and qualifying was rained out, so he was trying to buy a spot. Uh, woo, woo, woo. I don't know how that worked out. The qualifying got rained out, and the race got rained out too. Some shit like that. And the race had to be on Saturday after the Xfinity race. Well, the Busch race, the Xfinity race. So I got to stay for the Busch race. I got to see the Busch race. Ha ha ha. You know, from the inside, not from the fucking stands like most of these goofy motherfuckers that be talking that dumb shit. You know, from pit road. And I knew the nigga that was on pit road, excuse my French, but you know what I'm saying? A dude, it's just, he used to like try to show me the game. So anyway, uh, so we was about to leave the track, and Brendan Gaughan literally came up to us, and he was like, "Hey," he was pushing a golf cart. He was like, "Y'all want to ride outside the track in the golf cart?" Now, now this Brendan Gaughan, he got braids. I never seen Brendan Gaughan with braids until I seen him personally. Uh, so the last minute and a half, man, we leave the racetrack. We go to a Harley Davidson that was, I don't know, like 20 minutes away from the track. We go in there. Ken Schrader's in there. Kenny Schrader. Kenny Schrader. We go in there. Our driver says, you know, what's up to him. You know, like car chief. I think the crew chief was with us. Say what's up to Ken Schrader. And first thing I do, look at Ken Schrader, shake his hand. Look, yep, it's Ken Schrader. He missing a thumb type shit. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, if you listen to all that, man, hey, if you want to hear more little stories about Tim Feedle, meeting Tim Feedle, stories about working with Walter, just all types of little shit, Arca, uh, man, just if you want to hear it, like, subscribe, comment, share the video, let me know. I'll drop stories and stuff, keep it respectful and all that there. And I am coming with part 2 of that Cletus McFarland joint. Shouts out to him, but I'm not apologizing. You hear me? Because he's going to exploit NASCAR. And I just don't want nobody to get killed. They're going to be turning in their grave if you seen that mess. Holla at me. See you out on the track, man. I like your boy. Oh, yeah, and I ain't eating no candy. That's ASMR shit for all you. Yeah,